Greetings Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Lord of the Rings: A Battle for Middle-earth. Starting this episode, there's going to be a lot of featurette videos where I try to showcase structures and units in this game. Something that I will not feature include the wild beings, such as goblins and wargs. Also, you'll see some differences in the featurette, whereby there are color schemes for every structure and unit. That's because I'm recording the featurette videos in skirmish mode. Also, I'm only going to showcase what the players can derive from the game, whether through the course of normal gameplay or by exploring and experimenting further. Now let's get started, and in this episode I'm going to talk about the Citadel. To avoid confusion, if a structure or a unit is applicable to more than one faction, then in the video I'll only be using images from one of those factions. At the end of the video, I'll then show the images of the other factions' units and structures. If there are any minor differences, such as in statistics, they'll be mentioned. For example, citadels apply to all factions. So to avoid confusion, I'll only be using images of the Isengard Citadel. At the end of the episode, the other factions' citadels will be shown. Back to the Citadel. The most basic and important structure. It appears as the centerpiece of a castle, camp, and outpost, and it is the prerequisite to building up a base. We need to move a unit close to the castle, camp, or outpost foundation, and if we have enough resources, we can set up the citadel there. The citadel will be built from the ground up, and the surroundings will change to provide Isengard structure foundations to allow construction of other buildings. Take note that all buildable Isengard structures, except for the lumber mill, can be built on their respective structure foundations surrounding the citadel. A citadel generates 5 resources every 5 seconds in real time. The resource generated by the citadel is affected by the global resource multiplier, although that's available only in the campaign. But it's a base of 5, so a resource multiplier of 1.3 would give about +7 resources per 5 real-time seconds. Meanwhile, the costs of getting a citadel depends on where we built it. As mentioned just a while ago, we can build an outpost, a camp, or a castle. They would cost 800, 2000, and 5000 resources respectively. The Citadel has 4000 HP, and after some time out of combat, will begin repairing any damages sustained. I believe this auto repair out of combat is true for all structures. If a citadel is taken down with at least one other structure still standing, then we do not lose the base. Though we will lose the ability to construct more buildings until the citadel has been rebuilt. All ongoing constructions are paused. It costs 1000 resources to rebuild the citadel. Rebuilding a citadel takes a very long time. If a citadel is taken down without any other structures left standing in that base, then the entire base is lost. We will have to rebuild the citadel and spend the necessary resources for that type of base, for example, 5000 for a castle. Lastly, fallen heroes can be revived from the citadels by clicking on the citadel, choosing the heroes that we want to revive, and paying the required resources. Multiple heroes can be revived at the same time. A timer will count down for each of the heroes revived, and at the end, the revived heroes will appear at the foot of the citadel. If multiple heroes complete revival at the same time, then they take turns to appear at the citadel. In skirmish mode, we are also allowed to hire heroes, and they're hired the same way by selecting the citadel and selecting the heroes we want to hire, paying the resources, and waiting for the timer to count down.
They will not be rid of me so easily. Victory is at hand. Advance!
Now for this last segment, let's take a look at the comparisons between each of these factions' citadels. Since the main base building from the good side is also called Citadel, we'll be showing them too, and showing the differences if there are any. These are the buildable buildings for the Isengard structure foundations, or rather building foundation. And I'm just gonna list everything on screen. I'm not going to show the buildings on the tower foundations because that itself will be a separate episode. Why is a defensive building like the keep in here though? Well, it's because it's in the basic building foundation and it's something that we can build clicking on that foundation. Now here's something interesting. The convinced Haradrims who recently joined Sauron has got a different central piece for their base. It's actually called the Haradrim Camp Keep, not the Citadel, but this is not buildable despite using the recently defected Haradrim warriors to approach the foundation, the camp foundation. What we get instead, the Mordor Citadel. Nevertheless, they all have the same HP value of 4,000. For the Haradrim, they do not get towers. So you can see here, they also don't have tower foundation, so we can't really defend them easily. Meanwhile, for Mordor, we do get towers. Now, for Gondor's camp, which is the same citadel as Gondor's outpost, so I'm just gonna show the camp's version. And it has got the same health as the one in the castle and the outpost. Gondor faction, we have got different types of citadels. For the castle citadel, look, this is different. It looks different, although it's got the same health, but it looks different as compared to the outpost and the camp. Alright, enemies approaching. They target our forces, so we want to make them exit through the postern gate. Look. This Gondor Citadel in the castle, although 4,000 health, will fire arrows to defend itself. Okay, so this is what's unique about this citadel. And this is the Rohan's castle version of Citadel. It's called the Rohan Citadel. And this is how it looks like, a Rohan Great Hall. Look, let's not waste time, I'm just gonna tell you it doesn't shoot arrows at attackers. As for Rohan's Camp Citadel, it's the same as its outpost version, so I'm going to show only the camp version. It's got 4,000 HP as you can see already on the tooltip, and it's called the Rohan Citadel. Well, that's it for the Citadel. I hope I've not missed out too much information. Thank you for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.